Cutter's Degrassi Unpopular Opinions. Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Degrassi Unpopular Opinions and Hot Takes. So basically, I looked at this person's Reddit post that was done a couple weeks ago. And for context, this is being taped on July 10th, 2021. But basically put, this person by the name of Ready Passenger 4701, I think it was some kind of movie or TV reference. But anyway, talks about Maya's depression, saying that, can we talk about how well written Maya's depression arc was written? It first felt like she was perfectly fine after camp, but that wasn't the case. She was forever changed and mentally destroyed, especially after her relationship with Miles ended. You could see how much Cam affected her. She was constantly worried about Miles and kept doubting herself because she felt like she wasn't doing enough to help him. Even when Miles started to spiral, Maya seemed like the only one who noticed. Her mental downfall was something we saw coming, but when it happened, we were still surprised. She was so sad and depressed and felt like she ruins everyone's lives because she blamed herself for Cam's problems and wanted to get out of their lives because she thought it would make them get into their lives because she thought it would make them happier. It was also perfect, and I feel like in the end she didn't fail other people. Other people failed her. So this whole Maya Madeline depression thing basically started in season 12 when Cam got introduced and all that. And, Cam and Maya were in love in a sense. But Sig seemed to be so freaking jealous of Maya. Earlier in my Degrassi Unpopular Opinions playlist, I basically said why Sig was with Maya in the first place. Did Sig basically guilt Maya into being with him because of his gang storyline and knew that Maya would be weak and wanting to force herself to help people? I also said in that video that basically Sig, to me, is equivalent to Veronica in the Archie comics. Well, before Riverdale came and changed a lot of perceptions and all that shit. So basically, a rundown basically is that Veronica in the Archie comics basically wants to deal with Archie. But the problem is it's actually clear in several strips that she actually is only with Archie because Betty is also after him. So basically, Veronica doesn't really treat Archie that well, in a sense, that she's only with him. And the one time that Betty actually decides to date Adam instead of Archie, even though that Archie now thinks that, well, that's to Betty. If Betty won't accept me for who I am, I'd rather go to Veronica. And then Veronica goes out with some guys and basically said that, I don't feel like I want to be with Archie if he's not with Betty. So basically, it's just the competitive nature and all that. And I feel like with Sig, is that he wants Maya only when Maya's with somebody else, like Miles or Cam and all that. But basically, when Maya is his and his alone, he doesn't feel that great about her. He belittles her. He basically emotionally cheats on her and as such. And, he's such a prick. I hate Sig so much. So, yeah. The whole depression storyline said Sig basically may push Maya to tell that Cam is an nincompoop and all that. But, Cam apologizes to Maya. Maya understands, and then Cam wants Maya to beat him in front of the school so he would give back her stuffed owl hoot. But Sig sees that, and basically Sig said that, if you want to help Maya out, you'll stay out of her life forever. And that was the catalyst for him killing himself. Sig honestly felt terrible about himself. He basically blamed himself and told Maya that. And Maya had a weird response. With Cam being hurt. And then, Maya became a little more promiscuous in season 13. Her family calls her out on it, and she basically said that Cam broke up with me. Why didn't he tell me all these things and all that? I'll never be happy again. Is Maya trying to be a dick or something? I just hated how whiny she sounded in that. And then by season 14, when she's with Miles, it starts to manifest itself. Miles was going on a spiral. She kept seeing Miles in situations that Cam was in, including jumping off the balcony. So basically, Maya tries to protect Miles because no one else is helping Miles out. She feels like she has to because, she kept doubting herself. Like, is she doing enough or is she doing too much? She never felt like she could do everything. And basically, her mom and the cops basically tell her that, it's okay to be concerned about Miles, but don't let your life be ruined. And, Maya goes to a professional because she sees, like, Miles's problems like Cam's problems. And after season 14, Miles is okay with everything, after getting his dad in trouble for slapping him through Frankie and Hunter. Maya says, I think you're fine. I think I've done my job. And then she goes towards Sig and all that. Yeah. So, yeah. And then, we don't really hear about depression problems with Maya until season 3 in the wake of the bus crash of those supporters and, Tristan being in a coma. And Maya doubts herself, saying that basically all around me, people are getting hurt if I get involved. And so basically, Maya thinks that she basically should stay out of people's lives and go to Cam and all that by killing herself. So she takes medication. She puts on headphones on a bus like Cam, and basically Maya wakes up 30 minutes later and says, "I'm doing something wrong," and then she decides to go up to the roof. But Sig and Esme, because they were horny, went up to the roof. Actually realized that Maya was on the roof for some reason. So, and of course, Maya didn't give the medication enough time to get in her body. So basically, she was vomiting and all that. Basically, Sig and Esme saved her life, and basically, Esme felt great. But then, when people started to turn more attention to Maya than Esme, she decides to try to fuck Maya over. She steals Sig from Maya, and then she gets Frankie in too. Like Esme, it was just so baffling. I mean, Sig and Maya went to the prom, but that was just an accident of inconvenience and all that. Basically, Maya wanted Sig to be with Esme because she figures that Esme needs help. And then, of course, Maya tells the counselor about Esme's problems, saying that it wouldn't be cool and all that. I gotta help Esme out. I think Esme kind of may have thanked Maya, but we didn't hear much. So yeah, and this person said about the fact that other people failed her instead of she didn't fail other people. I like that quote. I told I told the group, like I posted, I said, I just wish that she told someone about her problems dealing with Cam's death in season 14 and say his name. Because I feel that many people around her were just scoffing at her attempts to help people. And I feel like even her mom would have been a better help if Maya just said that everything with Miles is similar to Cam and I can't have that happen again. Would have got her sympathy. And Miss Puffett said, what honestly made me hate her depression arc was that no one in her life put two and two together. If your boyfriend publicly kills himself, you shouldn't have to tell people you're depressed. They should know. Instead, every single person she's close to was like, I was acting like a bitch for no reason. Fuck her. Even her mom. They all failed her and expected a teenager to get over the super traumatic death of her boyfriend. Or maybe they had amnesia and forgot about Cam. True. P. Walsh says that this is one of the best arcs in the Degrassi franchise alongside Craig's bipolar storyline and all that. It's realistic and relatable. It affects all her relationships, worrying about Miles and Tristan, shutting out Sig and Grace, lashing out to her family, makes her doubt her lifelong dream of being a musician. It manifests itself in a ton of ways. Dan the Man said that they handled it well. I read in an interview somewhere that said, if you watch after Cam's suicide, Maya never says his name again. This was intentional as one of the ways to show how he affected her. They also said Maya telling the teacher was preying on Tristan and trying so hard to help Miles almost to the point of getting too involved were fallout from Miles dealing with Cam too. Because she was terrified if she didn't do something those times and help them, they might have killed themselves too. That's what the writers said and all that. So anyway, yeah. A lot of people said that, Maya's depression was going to manifest itself in a long way and all that. I mean, depression is not fun to have and all that. I mean, the problem is that, a lot of people said, well, what about you? What about you, Cutter Historical or Cutter Gaki on the Reddit post? Because, I never changed my name to Cutter Degrassi or something like that. Says, does depression handle you? Well, the problem is, one of the problems with being autistic, like I am, is that you're prone to emotional outbursts and depression and suicidal thoughts. Thankfully, though, I haven't really had many suicidal thoughts and all that. It's more about depression and all that, because you think that you're screwing things up and all that, and bad things happen. I mean, when my dad died last March, you know, did I go into depression? I did. I was really depressed because I felt like, I was letting my dad down. After all, I had a period of 4 years without any job prospects. I mean, I tried to get a job. I really did. But the fact of the matter is that, it was hard to believe. It was hard to manifest things. And, just wanted to make my family proud of me. And, I got a job at Canadian Tire. And the worst part is he died on a Saturday. And then the Tuesday after was my first day at Canadian Tire. Like, I know I should have taken the week off and all that to process and heal. But my dad would not have been happy with me if I would have just take the day off for him. I think he would have been like, you don't have to take the day off for me. Well, I ended up losing the Wednesday shift because, it's the funeral. I mean, the visitation. And then Thursday was the funeral, but I didn't have to work that day. But yeah, I really felt guilty about myself working around the time my dad died. And, I had health effects for a while. I mean, I have sleep issues. And I think they may have started with my dad's death and all that. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that, Maya is a great person. And I did many videos on why Maya is always being blamed for everything. And yeah, I like the quote that she didn't fail people, people failed her. And that's what I think. I think that other people kind of failed her and didn't understand what she dealt with the Cam situation, especially in season 14. But yeah, it just didn't make sense. Maya got screwed over, and that's not right in any sense. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching, and have a good day.